Welcome to Fish News. I'm your host Sid Rosie, reporting fish news on channel Fish News. We have 3 stories tonight. First up, Trump is hating on an endangered fish species for no reason. After that, I have 3 new aquatic species to share with you. And lastly, I have some chaotic updates on Disney World's aquarium pavilion. Stay tuned to find out how Donald Trump may be the end of the Delta smelt. The Delta smelt is a 3-inch fish that provided food for us and wild animals as recently as the 1950s. In the 80s, the fish was listed under the Endangered Species Act. It has been a key indicator species for the health of the ecosystem. But why is Trump hating on it? Well, he believes that due to the protection of the worthless species, his words, not mine, that less water is being provided to control the fires in California. And that's a decent sentiment, if it were true. Ashley Overhouse, a California water policy advisor for the nonprofit conservation organization Defenders of Wildlife, told ABC News, quote, "The claim that Delta smelt protections in the Bay Delta estuary are limiting the amount of water exported to Southern California, which in turn would affect the amount of water available for emergency response, has no merit whatsoever," end quote. Despite this, Trump still issued an order on January 20th called Putting People Before Fish, stopping radical environmentalism to provide water to Southern California. This order directs federal agencies to pump more water from the Delta south to farms and cities. John Rosenfield, the director at the environmental watchdog San Francisco Baykeeper, says increasing water exports above the levels we have now would not result in much more water getting to Southern California anyway. He also called Trump's words gobbledygook, which I think is pretty funny. That might be a wrap for the Delta smelt, but I do have 3 new species to introduce to you, so stay tuned to meet them. The first fish I'd like to introduce you to is the no-slit scorpionfish, which was caught in a rocky area on the east coast of Japan. The fish is small and orange with spines holding up the dorsal fin. The fish got its English name, no-slit scorpionfish, from the lack of slit behind the last gill arc. The next new aquatic species is the Canary Islands mysid shrimp. Scientist Carl Whitman spent over a decade diving off the coast of northwestern Africa in search of unfamiliar-looking shrimp, which resulted in the discovery of dozens of these mysid shrimp. They have large eyes, they're less than 1/4 of an inch long, have stout bodies and bent tails. Whitman recorded at least 6 different color variations, including brown, orange, white, and yellow. Whitman named the species after the Latin word canarensis, used to refer to the inhabitants of the Canary Islands. These shrimp are just too stinking cute, and so are the last fish I want to introduce you to. Researchers visited the Umzikulu River in 2017 to search for an extinct species, the Maluti redfin minnow. They caught dozens of minnows that look similar to the extinct species, but after analyzing DNA and studying its appearance compared to other species, they realized they had discovered a new species, the Umzikulu redfin minnow. They can reach over 3 inches in length. They have large heads with blunt snouts, large eyes, and sickle-shaped mouths. They live in shallow rocky streams, but much of their biology and lifestyle is not yet known. Their common name refers to the river they were discovered in, while their specific name, Kumbakai, is after the wildlife researcher who helped discover it through extensive sampling efforts. Shout out to his family. No shout outs are in order for Disney, however, so stay tuned to find out why. We previously reported in September that Disney World's aquarium in Epcot had relocated Lou the manatee away from his friend Lil Joe, both of which were long-term residents at the manatee exhibit. Lou was relocated to the Moton Marine Laboratory and Aquarium as part of a statewide initiative to help manatee populations. Inigo the manatee moved into Disney's aquarium alongside Lil Joe and took a while to settle in and get used to the place. Now, just a few months later, Lil Joe and Inigo have both been unexpectedly relocated to the Gulfarium Marine Adventure Park, which is where Disney moved their dolphins at the end of last year. The unannounced removal of Lil Joe and Inigo came as a surprise to everyone. Disney World is a place where annual pass holders can come as often as they'd like to visit these animals and form a connection with them. So when they're removed with no warning, it's kind of like a punch in the gut to animal lovers and Disney lovers alike, because we don't get a chance to say goodbye to our favorite buddies. Like me. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye. Ouch. My gut. They also failed to announce the removal of animals in Dinoland USA, but this is fish news, so let's stick to the aquarium for now. Upon Lil Joe's arrival to the Gulfarium, it's reported that he was given his favorite treats, which are sweet potatoes, apples, and manatee gel, which is a slurry of frozen vegetables. From this point forward, Disney can focus on rehabilitating more critical care needs manatees and hosting shorter stays for the manatees, which means helping more manatees over time. With the manatee exhibit being empty right now, the first floor with underwater viewing is blocked off with ropes and curtain, and the upstairs viewing area is also blocked off with rope. There is some construction coming to the aquarium with walls put up around the escalator. There's also construction in the tank, which used to house the dolphins. A tarp can be seen near the top, and a diver was seen on the other side of the tunnel that separates the tanks. Cast members said work includes an expansion to the walkways through the tanks to better accommodate scooters and wheelchairs. They also said that the park's divers have been practicing for emergency situations involving guests with disabilities. There are seemingly no reports on what the construction in the former dolphin tank is for, but trust that I'll be reporting on it as soon as I find out. That's all I've got for today on Fish News. Comment down below which story was your favorite, and I will see you in the next one. Peace and glub glub.